Welcome to the Sixth Sense Foundation.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Stephen Parker Show. I am your host, Stephen Dwayne Parker. I'm Texanita's son, y'all. And as always, I thank God for His grace, His mercy, and His favor that's all over my life. And I always say, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, where would I be? With that, it's time to welcome my special guest. She is in studio with me here at KDYA 1190 AM. It is my Authors Week where I bring in authors who are doing some phenomenal things in their writings, and I had to invite her on the show. She is a certified counselor and a life coach. She's a best-selling author. She's the CEO of Mashack Management, and she has some wonderful books out. She manages families and counsels families. One of her books is called What the Hell Are You Waiting For? And also The Dreams of Maddie Fitch. And we're going to talk about these wonderful books. But please welcome to the Stephen Parker Show, my dear guest, Miss Bonnie Mashack. What's up, Bonnie?
I'm good this morning. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to have you here. You know, one thing I always ask of writers, when did that bug hit you? When did you say, I got to start getting a pen and writing some of these ideas and thoughts down that I have?
Mine was a little bit different. I was going through a health crisis in 2005. And this person started waking me up in the middle of the night. 3 o'clock in the morning for about a couple of weeks, and I kept brushing it off. Finally I said, who are you and what do you want? This spirit was speaking to me, and she said, my name is Maddie Fitch, and I need you to write about me.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay. Really? So I brushed it off again, but she was very
persistent.
Absolutely. And finally I said, okay, who are you and what do you want me to do? She said, I need you to write about me. I said, well, I'm not an author. I don't, I've never written before, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So she said, I need you to go to this seminar, book writing seminar. So that's what I did, and went down there and spoke to some people, Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield. If you've heard of them, they did Chicken Soup for the Soul. They did a book writing seminar. And so I went to that. And that's also where I met my business partner, Corinne Alyssa, and we are the WISE Aunties. And we have a TikTok, we have Instagram, and we're also co-authors on the book, What the Hell You Waiting For? And so that's how it began, through a little bit of turmoil, through an illness, and she was there when I came out of that. It brought me out of that.
So you literally had a visitation from a spirit of a person, a young lady that came to you, because people would be like, huh?
Right. That's what I'm
what?
like, wait a minute.
Right. And so there is supernatural spirits that visit people, and you experienced that.
Yes, I did.
Wow, did that make you nervous? Did it scare you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because, being a follower of the Most High and, Jesus, I'm like, wait, now this isn't normal, right? But I've always, all my life, been intuitive.
Wow.
So I knew there was something special about Maddie when she came to me. She chose me.
Wow.
And she chose me to have her voice through the book, The Dreams of Maddie Fitch. And so I did exactly what she asked me to do, and through that, it transformed not only my life, but, thousands of others.
Could you give us a small synopsis of this book, what she told you to write, and what you penned in this book called The Dreams of Maddie Fitch?
Maddie, it turned out that Maddie is actually me. In a sort of kind of strange form when I finally realized who she was. But it starts in South Carolina, where my family is from. So a lot of the people in the book are family, because that's where it started. She wanted to talk about her life in the 1920s. sharecropping her family, and Maddie went through a health crisis herself, went into a coma, and while in that coma, she is able to time travel. And she will go and meet people at their needs. If someone's at a crossroad, she comes in and helps them make the right choice that will transform their life to something positive.
Nice. So then we have the other book.
Oh.
I love the title of this. What the hell you waiting for? What does that mean, Bonnie? What is the synopsis of this book?
This book came through Corinne and I, the Wise Aunties, and it's a book that it's a guide, actually. It's an easy read telling people how to make choices, because it's like, what the hell are you waiting for? It's right out here in front of you. Go get it.
Wow.
Stop wasting time, because we waste so much time that
Right.
we miss out on great opportunities. And so that's what the book is about. It also has master classes that we're going to be offering.
Nice.
And so that's how that book came about.
Now, so you offer all kind of different writing seminars to help people. What if somebody's watching and say, you know what, that's the person who I need to connect with? How do they connect with you and find out how they can start broadening their writing skills?
They can go to the wiseaunties.com, and there they'll see all kind of, they actually want them to sign up for our newsletter. We have blogs there. We're also starting a podcast called The Soulful Conversations, where we'll be having guests on and discussing all kind of different things that happen in people's lives.
Wow.
To help them build those bridges that they need a lot, that they don't have in order to transform.
What's your first suggestion for someone who says, I have something inside of me that needs to come out, that needs to be heard, that I need to write? What do you tell them, step one, to do for them to start nurturing that gift of writing?
I usually tell people, do what I did, and that was pray. Because I didn't understand it at first. And so I took a few minutes to seek counsel, on exactly what I was supposed to do. And then you do a storyboard. That's what I do. I write out the characters, what I want them to do and what I want them to say. And then I build from there. We also, on the Wise Aunties, are mentors, and we will train people on where, to go to start building that, building those storyboards and understanding how writing a book, it has its hard times, but once you get it and you know what you're doing, it's a fun experience. I am enjoying writing. We have a book coming out called The Gospel According to the Wise Aunties, and it's not a scriptural gospel.
Right.
It's just just different tidbits, because we're mature women.
Yes.
And we're like aunties.
Yes, that's the phrase people use now
Yes.
for women your age, aunties.
Yes, and so we're the Wise Aunties, and we said what we said. Okay? We just coming to you real, right? And so that's where we are. We're just real with our clients. We're real with our listeners and our followers. We just want people to find what they're missing.
There you go. There you go. That's what my question was. It's like, what should people expect to get from you? And tell me about your cohort in the Wise Aunties.
Corinne Alyssa.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Corinne and I met actually when I went to LA to the seminar. She was there. And it was a weird type of meeting. We were having breakfast before the seminar started at the hotel, and she walked in and everybody ignored her. I told you I'm intuitive, so I was watching people's reactions to her. She's a very large white woman, bright red hair, sweet as pie, once you got to know her. And they were just looking at her almost like she was invisible. And I raised my hand and I, told her to come sit with me. And my life changed from that moment on.
Wow.
We're very different, but very much alike. We have different ideas about spirituality.
Okay.
She's a metaphysician.
Okay. Tell us what that means. That's
Kind of, they seek outside of ourselves, yet she believes in Jesus. Her book is Conversations with Yeshua. She wrote a book.
Okay.
And so while we were sitting there, found out we have the same birthday. We're both born on December 19th.
nice.
Which was interesting. She's a little bit older than I am, but we connected, and for the last 20 years we've been working on getting ourselves to this point right here. And she lives in Mississippi, I live here.
Okay.
So we are Zoom partners. We're
Okay. Always on Zoom.
always on Zoom and always on telephone, and we were blessed to meet Khalil through VIDEOROBOT.
Okay.
And he's been a blessing to us as well, helping us kind of build some ideas that we hadn't thought of.
Right.
So it's really nice. Corinne is a very interesting individual, but a blessing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So I'll ask you this as we get closer to drawing to an end. How do you express to people who are watching what you can do to help them understand themselves, you know, their lives? You're a life coach, and so what you do is you help people along in life. What are some of your steps you do to help people move along in life and find their way?
First of all, when I'm contacted by a client, I find out exactly what it is that they're looking for. What is it that you're missing? And once we figure out what that is, it's very easy because the answer lies within you already.
Wow.
You just need somebody to help you bring it out. And most of the people, like in Maddie Fitch, are at a crossroad. They're making really important decisions in their lives. They come to me and we sit and we talk about exactly that. And typically, after a few sessions, they've figured it out. I do a lot on our TikTok, which is the WISE Aunties on TikTok, and I find that a lot of my stuff connects with the people, being the one who stands out in the business.
Right.
Corinne is in the background.
You're the outspoken one.
I'm the attractive character is what they call us.
The attractive character, I like it.
And so you hit something with people.
Right.
Because one thing that I am able to do is see you. I can see a person. If I look in your eyes long enough, I can feel the emotion that you have.
So you have a gift.
Absolutely.
Like a prophesying seer. They used to call them seers
Yes.
back in the day, but
Yes,
they could see beyond.
I'm a seer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's something that makes me nervous because I can look at people and they don't know that I know what they're thinking or going through.
Oh, wow. What am I
And-
thinking right now?
You're thinking this show is almost over. And we got to get through it.
I love it. I love it. It is called What the Hell Are You Waiting For? Best-selling author Bonnie Mashack is with us. And then The Dreams of Maddie Fitch. We want you guys to go and buy this book. Tell them where they can find your wonderful books, Miss Bonnie Mashack. I was going to call you Maddie Fitch.
You can. It's on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com.
Went to your search bar, put in The Dreams of Maddie Fitch or What the Hell You Waiting For, and they pop right up and say hello to you.
And give us all of your social media sites, your websites, and all of that stuff with the WISE Aunties podcast. We want them, you guys go and follow her and support
Please,
all of the
yes.
work she is doing.
Please. We're on TikTok. We're always under the WISE Aunties. On Instagram, Facebook. We have a YouTube channel. And we're really excited about Soulful Conversations that's coming out. And
Soulful
we wanna
Conversations.
maybe we'll have you on.
Maybe you will have me on. I love to have soulful conversations.
Yes.
Talk to those that are listening now, I just want you to say a word of inspiration, because everybody's going through something, and as a life coach, someone who, sits in a perspective of, being able to help mentor people, give a word to our people just to inspire them before we get out of here, Miss Bonnie Mashack.
Just learn to believe in yourself. Learn that you're not making any mistakes.
Yeah.
And continue to strive and make your dreams a reality. Maddie says in the book that your dreams or your reality is sleep. You just need to wake them up.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I love it. She is here, and she is a best-selling author. You guys go get her books, The Dreams of Maddie Fitch. And what the hell are you waiting for? Your mama been asking you that for years. So get yourself together and do what you need to do. God has called you to do something. Thank you, my dear, for being here with me on the Stephen Parker Show. My special guest, Miss Bonnie Mashack. Shout out to my man Khalil in the house, DJ, and Akila over there in the sound booth. We appreciate you guys for tuning in to the Stephen Parker Show. We'll see you next time. I'm out of here.
Welcome to the Sixth Sense Foundation